हरे कृष्ण। सत्यानंद चिंत्य सत्येक पक्षे सर्वाध्यक्षे भक्ति रक्षादिदक्षे श्री गोविंदे विश्वसर्गादिकंदे पूर्णानंदे नित्यमास्तां मतिर्मे अज्ञान निरधिरुपैति यया विशेषं भक्ति परावभजति परिपोषमुच्चैः तत्त्वं परं स्फुरति दुर्गमं अप्यजश्रं सत्कुण्यभृत्स्वरचितं प्रणमामि गीतम् गौरां सुखः सत्कुमुद प्रमोदि स्वाभीक्यया गोस्तमो निहंत श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य सुधा निधर्मे मनोति तिष्ठन् स्वरतिं करोतु प्राचीनवाचः सुविचार्य सोऽहम् अज्ञोऽपि गीतामृतलेशलिप्सुः यतः प्रभोरेव मदेत तत्र शन्तक्षमत्वं शरणागतस्य सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोक्ता गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् स्वधर्मज्ञानवैराग्यसाध्यभक्त्येव गोचरः नारायणः परब्रह्म गीता शास्त्रे समीरितः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति विकास स्वामी नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य माजिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वदाम्ना अन्यां हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं पान्त्वस्मान् पुरुहूत वैरिबलवन्मातङ्गमाध्यद्घटा कुम्भोच्छाद्रिविपाटनाति कपटुप्रत्येकवज्रायिताः श्रीमत्कण्ठेरवास्य प्रतसुनकरा धारिदारादिदूरप्रध्वस्तत्वान्तशान्तप्रवचितमनसा भाविता भूरिभागैः। Hare Krishna, welcome you all for this Gita Sastri course on the 14th day. Today we will be discussing on chapter number 10, Vibhuti Yoga. So Krishna, in the 9th chapter, he elaborately spoke about devotion service, the glories of devotion service, and his Bhakta Vatsalyatva. That is the secret of all the knowledge. Krishna has revealed the secret of his heart, that is Bhakta Vatsalya, that he is always there for his devotees and his devotees will never perish. That is the whole point that Krishna wanted to establish in the 9th chapter. So having said that, now Krishna continues his 10th chapter. So there is nothing like Krishna just now, like it's a conversation. So it's not like Krishna is saying to Arjuna, okay, Arjuna, I have finished 9th chapter. Now I'm going to 10th chapter. No, it's not like that. Krishna is just continuing his speech, and Vyasadeva, he is seeing all this thing by his Jnana Drishti, and he is making us different chapters. So according to the subjects which are discussed, Vyasadeva is making different chapters, but Krishna is just continuing his glories. In the last shloka, Krishna said, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. He said, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Worship me, think of me, and always pay obeisance to me. So in this way, you will attain me. So Krishna has just completed whatever he wanted to say about devotees and devotion service. From chapter 7, Krishna is having this in his heart. He wanted to speak about those Mahatmas who always think about him and who worship him, Ananya Bhakti, who worship him without any hindrance, without any motivation. So Krishna was speaking about those devotees. Now Krishna has completed about those devotees, and he will take up the same thing in 12th chapter also. So in 12th chapter, again, Krishna will speak about the devotees' glories. So in between, again, Krishna comes up with his Vibhuti. Vibhuti means his energies or his different forms, his expansions. So Krishna, in the 7th chapter, from shloka number, I think 8, Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi sasuryoho pranavas sarvavedeshu shabdakke paurusham rishu Punyoganta Pritivyam cha Tejaschasmi Bhavasau Jivanam Sarvabhuteshu Tapaschasmi Tapasvichu Bijam Mam Sarvabhutanam Viddhipata Sanatanam Buddhir Buddhimadamashmin Tejas Tejas Vijavanam Balam Balavatam Chaham Kamaragavarchitam Dharma Viruddho Bhuteshu Kamosmi Vardarshava. And also in the 9th chapter, shloka number 16 to 19, Krishna was speaking about his energies, how he is pervading in this world, how he is controlling everything in this world, how he is maintaining everything in this world. So when you understand these glories about Krishna's energies, how he is maintaining us, how he is pervading us, how he is sustaining us, then this also gives an inclination towards Lord. So it is very important to understand the Lord's glories and also the Lord's qualities. We should understand Mahatmya and Yatatmya. So both things are very important to understand about Lord. When you don't understand Lord's glories, then you will not have respect. So when you develop respect, then slowly by means of service, then you develop love. Love is, when you have love, then you lose respect actually. When you love someone, then you forget about the greatness of that person, and then you just simply love him out of affection, and you always care for him, and you want to serve him. That is the quality of love. Love means what? Love means service. But this love doesn't come immediately. It comes from understanding the person's glories, the person's greatness. When you understand, when you approach a person, first of all, you see the person's greatness. You see how glorious he is. What are his qualities? You get attracted with those qualities and you start serving that person. Slowly, when you get connected with that person, you develop some love, some affection. Then what happens? You forget about the greatness of that person. You forget his glories. Then you start to think, I should take care of this person. If I don't take care of this person, then he will suffer. Then the greatness goes away, then the love stays. But that is what Krishna also wants. Krishna doesn't want someone who glorifies him always as you are great, you are my boss. No. Even if you are a president, but for a president, when he comes to home, the small child is ordering the president and playing with the president, because he's not president anymore, he's father, and he's a loving husband. So he likes this kind of relationship. So Lord loves this kind of relationship, loving relationship. To develop this love, we need respect. Without respect, love doesn't develop. Without understanding the greatness, we cannot love Krishna. So Krishna is again speaking about this greatness in chapter number 11 and chapter number 10 and 11. He is expanding whatever he has just said in 7th chapter and 9th chapter in few shlokas about his vibhutis, that how he is maintaining, sustaining and pervading this world. So he just expanding those things in the 10th chapter. So this is called Vibhuti Yoga. This is how we should see the connection between these chapters. So Krishna says, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Bhuya eva mahabaho shrunu me paramam vachaha, yatteham priyamanaya vakshami hitakamaya. Bhuya eva mahabaho, hey Mahabaho, hey Arjuna, please hear again what I'm going to speak. Bhuya means again, because I have already spoken to you about this, but still I'm going to speak to you again, the same thing. Now I'm going to expand it. Previously I have just told you in a gist. I'm going to expand you whatever I have said. Shruname param vachaha. These are all great words. Shruname, please hear very carefully. Why do you say these things to me, Krishna? Yatteham priyamanaya, because you are very dear to me, Arjuna. Usually I don't speak about myself to anyone. I don't like to boost myself to anyone, because the diamond, which is very rare, it doesn't have to go in the market and advertise itself. One who knows the glories, they come behind the diamond. Similarly, Lord doesn't have to go and proclaim himself that I am the supreme, I am this great, I am this and that. He doesn't have to show magic and attract people. Krishna doesn't want to show magic to attract people, because he has already so many devotees worshipping him. In his spiritual abode, there are millions and millions of souls who are worshipping him. So Krishna doesn't have to come to this world to show some magic, and because of this magic, he can attract some people. No. He says, I am telling this to you because you are without envious. Priyamanaya, you like to hear. You are hearing like just like you are drinking some nectar. Because in first 6 chapters, whatever Krishna was saying, Arjuna was not understanding. He was all the time asking, Jaya Sejat Karmanaste Mada Buddhir Janardana. Please don't confuse me, Krishna. Please tell me what is good. I don't understand what is karma. I don't understand whether jnana is greater than karma, whether jnana and karma are same. What is best for me? Whether I'm able to control my mind or not. Please tell me what happens to the person who has not yet completed his yoga siddhi. So Arjuna was in confusion, in anxiety in first 6 chapters. But as soon as he started to hear about the remaining 6 chapters, that is from chapter number 7, Arjuna was not talking very much. Arjuna was just listening very happily. And by seeing the face of Arjuna, Krishna has developed some inspiration to talk. Because the inspiration for a speaker comes from seeing the listener's face. But unfortunately, in this online, I don't see anybody's face. I have to see my face and I have to inspire myself and I have to talk. If I have my inspiration, my only inspiration is Krishna. Anyway, whether people are listening or not, whether they are understanding or not, doesn't matter. At least I'm getting purified. I'm speaking about Krishna. Now I'm getting a chance to read Bhagavad Gita, to speak Bhagavad Gita. This purifies me. That is my only motivation. Otherwise, it is not that I'm so great that I'm going to give you some knowledge. No, everyone knows. Already, many of you have read Bhagavad Gita many times. So you're all here just to see me, how he is presenting. There are many devotees who are very experts, who are very advanced. They're just listening. Okay, let me see, let me check whether this fellow is talking correctly or not. So you're all here to correct me, to guide me, to watch me, but I'm here to purify myself. So that should be my motivation also. Otherwise, just by seeing my face, how I'm going to speak Bhagavad Gita. But this is tapasya. This is tapasya of this Kali Yuga, to see your face and to talk. But here Krishna is looking at Arjuna, and Arjuna is so happy hearing about Krishna's glories, hearing about devotees' glories. Because yesterday in Shloka, Krishna said, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktiya Prayachati. Krishna was speaking from his heart. Arjuna, please give me one leaf, little water, fruit. I'll be very happy. So such a great person, supreme person, who is the cause of everything, he's begging from his devotees, please give me something. I'll be very happy. I'm ready to eat that, whatever you give me. Even though I can get anything by my will, I can just create this whole creation, maintain and destroy by my will. But I accept, I personally eat whatever you give, if you give me with love and affection. So Krishna is so much after his devotees, his devotion, devotees' devotion. So when Arjuna was hearing about this, about Krishna's heart, Arjuna was so happy. Then his face was glowing. He just forgot about the fight, and even Krishna involved Arjuna also in his preaching. He said, please say that my devotees will never perish. My devotees will never go in vain. So Arjuna was also so happy to get involved. When we are giving lecture, if we call somebody's name, they become very happy. This is one of the tricks they use while giving lecture. While giving lecture, they used to announce anybody's name, like Hayagrive, then we have Jagannarayana. So when I say this name, Diya Jyoti, when I say this name, then they become, oh, they mention my name also. They're involving me also. So they become happy. So similarly, Krishna also involved Arjuna. He said, hey, Arjuna, proclaim, Name Bhakta Pranashyati, Kauntaya Pratijani, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Arjuna, now you say. All this time I am telling, now you say, my devotees will never perish. So Arjuna was very happy. Yeah, Krishna gave a chance to speak in Bhagavad Gita. He was also very happy. So Krishna said that Priyamanaya, you are very happily hearing, like drinking nectar. So I like to speak more to you. When you get a good listeners, when you speak more, then the flow comes very happily. Then you have many points to discuss. When you have very good listeners, then the speaker gets so much encouragement, then he speaks from different shastras. When the listeners are not so intelligent or not so inspired, they're just listening. Okay, let us listen something, whatever you say, let me listen. Then the speaker won't speak many points, then he will not discuss from different points of view. He will just go with the flow. So it depends on the hearer also to inspire the speakers. So Krishna says, Priyamanaya, because you are very dear and you are hearing very nicely, very attentively. So I want to discuss with you more. And why are you saying this? Vakshyami hitakamaya. Hitakamaya means for your good, I am going to speak about this, Arjuna. It is not for me. Because as I said already, if you don't accept Krishna or if you don't surrender to Krishna, what is lost for Krishna? Krishna is not going to lose anything. Or by accepting Krishna, supreme person, by glorifying Krishna, what Krishna is going to gain? Nothing. It's up to us. It is for us only. It is for our benefit Krishna is speaking. So he says, Hitakamaya, I'm going to speak about my knowledge, my energies, just for your goodness. Neme vidusura ganaha prabhavam na maharishayah aham adirhi devanam maharishinam cha sarvasaha. No one knows about this knowledge, Arjuna. I have never disclosed this knowledge to anyone, not even to demigods, not to the rishis, not to even munis. I am giving this knowledge to you. I am the origin of everyone. Aham adirhi devanam maharishinam cha sarvataha. I am the origin of all the demigods and all the rishis. But for me, there is no origin. We may celebrate Krishna Janmashtami. When Krishna comes down to this world, we may have Krishna Janmashtami. But where is Bhagavan Janmashtami? Do we have anything called Bhagavan Janmashtami? No, because you cannot ascertain when Krishna has appeared. Because Krishna is Adi. He is the origin of everyone. But Krishna also gives us a chance to glorify him, to worship him. So he comes down and we celebrate that as a Janmashtami. So Krishna says, Am Adirhi Devana. There is no one above me and no one knows me. So from me, everyone has appeared. Naitad Deva Apurvan Purvam Ashayet. The demigods, even demigods, they don't know me. Even the rishis, they don't know me. Krishna says this. But Yomam Ajam Anadim Cha Veti Lokam Maheshwaram Asammoda Samrityushu Sarvapapesu Pramuchate. One who knows me completely, one who knows me as Ajam and Anadim, one who knows that Krishna is without birth, he has no birth, and he is without origin also. He is the origin of everything, but he has no any origin. So one who knows this, that Krishna is unborn, Krishna is beginningless, he is the Lord of all the planets, then he gets free from all the sin. So understanding Krishna, knowing Krishna, it's the main process in Bhakti Yoga. In Karma Yoga, we have seen previously, in Karma Yoga, we have different process of knowing Atma and realizing Paramatma. But here in Bhakti Yoga, understanding Krishna as it is, that is the main thing. That's why Krishna in the previous chapter, he said, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yoveti tatvataha tektva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorajana. To understand Krishna's birth, to understand Krishna's activities, just to understand. We don't have to even enter inside the Leela, but just to understand itself will give us moksha. Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. Bhoktaram ekatavasam sarvalokamahesham sukritam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shanti mrichiti. So all these words, gyatva and veti, so all these things shows us just by hearing about Krishna, it's glorious. Shravanam, we don't have to do anything. In spiritual life, it's very simple. Just you need to sit down, listen carefully. That is the beginning of spiritual life. And just by listening itself, you become free from all sins. That is what Krishna says here. And then Krishna starts to describe about his vibhutis, his glories. Buddhir jnanam masammoho kshamas satyam tamassamaha sukam dukkam bhavo bhavo bhayam cha evacha ahimso samatattushtis tapodhanam yaso yashaha bhavanti bhava bhutanam matta eva pratatvidaha. So all the bhavas that we see in this world, that Krishna describes about different kinds of bhava, all these bhavas are arising from him. When there is no ocean, there is no chance of waves. Because ocean is there are so many waves. So Krishna is like an ocean. From him, many waves are coming. So these are called bhavas. So what are the bhavas? Buddhi. Buddhi means subtle distinction. To understand what is what. That is called buddhi. Jnana. Jnana means to differentiate between spiritual and matter. That is called jnana. And asammoha. Asammoha means without confusing understanding as it is. That we call asammoha. Kshama. Kshama means tolerance. Satya means truthfulness. Truthfulness for the benefit of others. And dhamma means sense control. And sama means mind control. Sukha means favorable things for spiritual life. And dukkha means unfavorable things in spiritual life. And bhaya means fear. Abhaya means absence of fear. And ahimsa means non-violence. Samata, not attracted, no attraction or repulsion. Then tushti. Tushti means satisfied with whatever comes on its own. Then tapa means engaging in spiritual difficulties for our spiritual upliftment. That's called tapas. Tapas means voluntarily accepting some difficulties in order to advance in spiritual life. That is called tapas. And dana. Dana means giving charity to a qualified person. And yashaha. Yashaha means known for the good qualities, or very well known or very famous for his good qualities. So all these things are appear from the Lord. So all these bhavas are appearing, are they're opposite bhavas. So whatever bhavas just now have mentioned, and there are opposite bhavas also. Like we have yasha means famous, and there is opposite to that famous, that is inglorious. So all the bhavas that we see in this world, these are all coming from Lord only. So here Lord is trying to show us that He is the origin of everything. Why He is saying this? That we will see in the end of the chapter. So He says, Maharashaya sapta purve chaturvaro manavastata madbhavo manasajjata yesham loka imam prajaha. He is the origin of Sapta Rishis. Sapta Rishis means Bhrigu, Marichi, Atri, Pulastya, Pulaha, Kratu, Vashishta. They are called Sapta Rishis. He is the origin of Sapta Rishis. He is the origin of 4 Kumaras, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara. And also he is the origin of 14 Manus. We have 14 Manus, which is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. That's Swayambhuva, Swarochisa, Uttama, Tamasa, Raivata, Chakshusa, Vaivasvata, Surya Savarni, Daksha Savarni, Brahma Savarni, Dharma Savarni, Rudra Savarni, Deva Savarni, Indra Savarni. So all these 14 Manus. So here Krishna speaks about 25 personalities. All these 25 personalities are appearing from Hiranyagarbha, not from Lord exactly, but the mind of Hiranyagarbha. So who is Hiranyagarbha? Again, it's Lord's Virat Rupa. So all these things are they are coming from Lord's mind. So they all engage their mind in Lord's service. So if you want to know more about this, you can refer Bhagavatam 3.12, 3rd canto, 12th chapter. In that, how all those rishis, where they are appearing from, and what are the origin. These are all mentioned in the 3rd canto, 12th chapter. You can refer. So he says, Etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo beti tattvataha yo vikalpena yogena yujjate natra samshayaha. So results of knowing this knowledge. What is the result of knowing Krishna's knowledge? When you accept, then you will accept that Krishna is the supreme person of Godhead. When you understand this knowledge, then you will accept, yes, Krishna is the origin of everyone. Krishna is the supreme person of Godhead. Then what happens? You develop unflinching devotion towards Lord. Otherwise, without having knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, without having knowledge about the Krishna's energy, then we may tend to respect, or we may tend to show our devotion or show our love towards various demigods. But when you understand all those demigods, all that we see in this world, everything belongs to Lord, then he will have this faith or unflinching faith towards Lord. His faith will not be shaken. He will understand, yes, if you worship Krishna, that's enough. That is equal to worshipping everyone. That is called Shraddha. Shraddha means faith. What is a faith? That Krishna is the origin, and if you worship Krishna, then it is equal to worshipping everyone. Otherwise, we will be in confusion, whether we should worship him or not, whether we should do this or not. We will be always in dilemma. But when you understand, yes, Krishna is the origin of everything. Krishna is the Amsha of everyone. He is the Amshi and everyone is his Amsha. Then you will not have any doubt. That's what Krishna says. So knowledge is very important for bhakti. Bhakti without knowledge is sentiment. And just knowledge without bhakti, it's also speculation. It's a mental speculation. So we need both the things. For doing devotion, we should have complete knowledge about Krishna. When you have complete knowledge about Krishna, then we can worship Krishna. That's what Krishna says. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam bhuta bhava samanvitaha. Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavaha. I am the origin of everything. Matta sarvam pravartate. Everything rests upon me. Iti matva, one who knows this, iti matva bhajante mam, they worship me. Bhuta bhava samanvitaha. With bhava, with love and affection, they worship me. So Krishna here, he declares that he is the origin of everything. That we can see in various Vedic literature, that how Krishna is the origin of everything. Yo brahmanam vidadati purvam yo vai vedam chagapyata sma Krishna. This is from Gopal Tapani Upanishad. Third, Krishna is the creator of Brahma and Shiva also. Ata purusho havai narayana kamayata prajashrijeti narayanat brahmo jayate narayanat prajapati prajayante Narayanat Indro Jayate, Narayanat Ashtavasavo Jayate, Narayanat Ekadasarudro Jayante, Narayanat Dvadasa Adityo Vijayante. This is from Narayana Upanishad. So, in Upanishads, in Vedic, in Shruti, that we find many mantras like this. Eko havai narayana asinna brahma ishano napo agnisamo neme dipo apritivi anakshatrani na suryo na ekani naramante. So all these shlokas shows us that Lord Narayana or Krishna, Brahmano Devaki Putro. So there's a statement that Lord Narayana is not different from Krishna and Krishna is not different from Narayana. Both are same but in a different dress, that's it, in different forms. So Lord is the origin of everything. When you understand this, that Lord is the both Upadana Karana and Nimitta Karana. He is called Adbhuta Karanaya. The Lord is the origin, that Lord is the Nimitta Karana and Upadana Karana. Then what happens? And everything exists behind himself, and whatever arises from me acts because of me. When you understand these things, that everything existing because of Lord and everything is arising from the Lord. So when you understand this thing, then what happens? Then naturally you will develop love and affection for the Lord. So that's what this shloka says. When you understand Krishna is the origin of everything, then we develop bhakti towards the Lord. So simple, to put in a simple word, when you understand Lord's glories, when you understand Lord's greatness, then we develop love and respect towards that Lord. That's what this shloka says. Then Krishna goes on speaking. When devotees, they know you completely, that Lord is everything, then they worship you. How they worship you? How to worship Lord? What are the activities of devotees? How they worship Lord? Then Krishna says about the devotees' activities. What devotees they should do. He says, Machchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantascha mam nityam dushyanti cha ramanti cha. He says, Machchittaha, devotees, they always think about Machchittaha. Then madgata pranaha. For them, I am the life air. If I am not there, then they won't exist. Like a fish out of water. Fish cannot exist. Fish cannot live without water. Similarly, devotees, without thinking about me, they cannot survive. Always they want my association. Machchittaha, madgata pranaha, bodhayanta parasparam. And what they do? They always discuss about me. Bodhayanta parasparam. Katayantascha mam nityam. He says always they will be speaking about Katayantascha mam nityam. And what they will get? Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They become very happy. They always drink this nectar. They become completely satisfied. What is devotee's happiness? Devotee's happiness is discussing about Lord, hear about the Lord, to speak about this to other people and see happiness in others' face. Devotee's happiness stays in other devotees' happiness. When we see that many, for a devotee, when he sees that many new devotees are coming up and they are understanding about Krishna and they are realizing about Krishna and they are taking up this devotion service very seriously. When we see this, when devotees see this, that becomes devotee's happiness. Otherwise, you cannot satisfy a devotee. How can you satisfy a devotee? By becoming a devotee, by taking up this devotion service very seriously. Otherwise, devotees have no any interest in material things. So if you want to please a devotee, then you try to become a devotee. So how to please Srila Prabhupada? By means of becoming a pure devotee. That's what Srila Prabhupada said. Many times Prabhupada said many things. How to please me? By distributing books. How to please me? By cooperating and doing service. Prabhupada said many things. But he said, if you want to please me, become a pure devotee. Then that will please me. Because that's what Krishna says. That is the quality of a devotee. Machitta madgata pranaha bodhayanta parasparam. Always they will be discussing about me. Even though they know me, still they will discuss about me. Like we have Sanat Kumaras. They are jnanis. From birth, they know everything about Krishna. But still, they want to hear about Lord. So they go to Sutta Goswami and they ask, please recite, please speak about Lord. Then then Sutta Goswami is speaking about Lord to Sanat Kumaras. And Parikshit Maharaj, he also knows about Lord, but still he wants to hear about Lord's quality from Sukadeva Goswami. So in this way, devotees, even though they know about Lord, still they want to hear. Why we are coming for Bhagavad Gita class here? Even though we heard Bhagavad Gita, still we come to hear this Bhagavad Gita, because when you hear, then you understand more. When you understand more, then you want to hear more. This is how it goes. Because it is easy to speak Bhagavad Gita, to speak about Bhagavad Gita to known persons. Because when you are speaking with unknown people, with new people, you cannot describe many qualities, you cannot describe many points. You will just touch some important points and you will skip many points. But when you discuss with Bhagavad Gita, who actually know, who read Bhagavad Gita, then we can actually discuss more and more about Bhagavad Gita. Then we become more happy. Like I can see personally in my life, I have read Bhagavad Gita many times. But when I start to read from Acharya's commentaries, from different points of view, by seeing connection between shlokas, between chapters, how Krishna is connecting, how he is bringing up the points again, how he is stressing some point again and again, how Krishna is revealing his heart to Arjuna, then it becomes more tastier. So this kind of thing, bodhayanta parasparam, that's what the Lord himself likes to hear when we speak about his glories. When you eat sweet, it is always sweet. It is Gita Amrita. No one has to tell you, okay, when you eat sweet, nobody has to tell you, okay, now it will be sweet. No, as soon as you start eating, you can feel that happiness, that satsanga, because when you have satsanga, then you don't need moksha also. That's what Bhagavatam says. When you are in a very good devotees association, then they forget about moksha also. It's like you are traveling on a very beautiful Paurnami, Sharat Purnima. In the Sharat Purnima, you have a very beautiful boat on the Ganges, and you are traveling on the Ganges. The breeze is also very soothing. You can smell the jasmine around that garden of banks of Ganga. So the jasmine smell is coming, and you are going on the very peaceful Ganga on a boat, and you can see Sharat Purnima, beautiful moon rising, and you have very pleasant kirtan in that. So when you have pleasant kirtan with all this comfortable situation, when you reach the shore, then when you reach the bank, then you will think, oh, we have already reached. Why don't we travel some more time on this Ganges? Similarly, those who are in Satsanga, they even don't care about moksha. When moksha arrives, then devotees think, oh my God, moksha has arrived. Already I have to leave this Satsanga. They don't want to leave, because the Satsanga itself gives so much happiness. That's what Krishna says here, that Lord himself comes down to this world to hear the Satsanga. We have this beautiful story of three Alvars, Alvar, Bhudatta Alvar, Poigai Alvar. So three main Alvars, they are the first three Alvars. So these three Alvars, they came and they took a shelter of a small place, a small hut, and there was heavy rain. So first one Alvar came. It was a small place, so he came and he lay down. Then there is one more alvar came. So there was no place to lay down to sleep. So both of them sat very nicely. And then third alvar also came. Then when there are three people, no place to sit also. So three of them were standing in that place. And they were glorifying about Lord. They were singing pasurams. And suddenly they could feel some tension because there was some fourth person. They could not see the fourth person, but they can feel that there is no place here to stand because there is a place for three people, but they can feel that that fourth person is pushing them. So then they were looking, who is that person? Then they saw Lord Narayana has appeared. He himself came inside in between the three people, and he wanted to hear what they are singing. So Lord himself likes to hear how mother will think. When child is singing some nice poems, whatever she has learned in the school, when child is writing and learning, then mother, even though mother knows everything, but still she will come and listen the sweet words of child because the child is speaking so sweetly. She likes to come and listen. When devotee starts to glorify about Lord himself thinks, oh my God, this has this many meanings. I never know. So when devotees start to glorify, then Lord becomes so happy. He wants to hear that kind of narrations. That's what Krishna says. Then Krishna says, how they get this knowledge? Not all the devotees are Vedantis. Not all the devotees are so scholar. How they get this knowledge? Then Krishna says, Tesam sadadayuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayantite. They don't have to become a scholars. But if you're all the time worshipping me, Tesham Satata Yuktana Bhajatam Priti Purvakam, if you worship me with love and devotion, then I give them knowledge. Because ultimately, if you want to understand Krishna, then Krishna has to reveal himself. There is no other way to understand Krishna except he reveals himself. That's what Krishna says here. That Tesham Satata Yuktana Bhajatam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. I give them Buddhi Yoga. I give them knowledge. Enama Upayantite. To understand me, to reach me, I give them enough knowledge. Without Krishna's mercy, without devotees' mercy, we cannot understand anything about Krishna. But if you are a fool number one, still you can gain all the knowledge if you have mercy. We have this story, Shabari, in Ramayana. So this woman Shabari, she's like a woman, a forest woman. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't know who is her parent, what she's doing. She's just like an animal, eating animal and living like an animal. So once she came to a place and she felt very satisfied. She felt very happy. She can feel the transformation in her heart. Then she started to see the nature's beauty, and she started to appreciate everything. And suddenly she realized, how come this kind of some change in my heart appeared? What made my heart to change? Then she was looking, and he saw an ashram that is called Madanga Maharishi ashram. So as soon as she saw that ashrama, she could understand, okay, because of this Maharishis, because of this satsanga, my heart got changed. You don't have to do anything. Just by staying in devotees association, our heart changes. Just by seeing them, by hearing from them, by serving them, our heart changes. Satam prasanga mama veere samvita. So in devotees association, the Lord's name, form, qualities, pastime, lectures, everything becomes very powerful. Otherwise, if we start doing yourself, then it is not very blissful. But in devotees association, it becomes more powerful. That you can see by reading Bhagavad Gita, we may understand something. But when you hear from devotees, then we understand more about Bhagavad Gita. So this Shabari, she doesn't know anything, but somehow or other she got some change in her heart. Then she decided, okay, I should serve these devotees. How to serve them? Then when these rishis, they go for bath, she comes to their ashrama, she cleans everything, she keeps all the fruits, she puts rangoli, she keeps everything very clean and neat, and she goes away without notice. Then these rishis, they come and see, okay, everything is arranged nicely, okay, they appreciate, and they use this, and then next day the same thing, again and again this happening. So the rishis, they doesn't know who is doing all this thing. Then Madanga Maharishi asks, who is doing all this? And they said, we don't know. Okay, find it out. Then all these rishis, they were hiding and they're looking. Then this Shabari, she comes and she's doing all this kind of service. Then the disciple came. Oh, hey, wait, hey Mataji, wait. Why are you doing all this? Who are you? Then she become very scared. She was running. Okay, Swami, I don't know. I made a big mistake. I will not do this again. She was running. And they said, okay, don't worry. You did good thing. Please come. My guru wants to see you. Really? Then they take her. And Shabari, she saw Madanga Rishi, and then she is sitting very peacefully. Rishi is asking, why do you do all this service? What do you want? And she says, I don't know anything. I just saw you. I felt like I should serve you. So I'm doing all this service. Then he said, okay, you serve. You serve now openly. Don't get fear. Then she started to serve the rishis. Then she started to serve them very faithfully. The rishis used to hear the lecture of Madanga Maharishi. Then she was hearing the lecture and she was serving very faithfully. She was not attending any of the classes or she was not learning any Vedic mantras, but she was listening and serving. Then the end of Madanga Maharishi came. Madanga Maharishi is now going back to Godhead. So before going, he was giving many boons to the disciples. So he was calling everyone, all the disciples. What do you want? I want Lagima Siddhi. Take. What do you want? I want Mahima Siddhi. Take. He was giving different siddhis to many of his disciples. Everyone is completed. Then at last one remained. Who is that? Shabari. Then the rishi called Shabari. Shabari came inside the ashram. Then he asked, okay, Shabari, you have served me whole life. What do you want? And she said, Swami, I am the same foolish woman. I don't know anything what is good for me. You give what is good for me. You give me whatever is beneficial for me, you give me. That is how a disciple should speak. She understood all the Vedic literature. That is, when you understand all the Vedic literature, what is a sign? When you surrender to your guru. That is the whole understanding the Vedic literature. She surrendered to the guru. Then the Madanga Maharishi, he said, okay, I'm going to give you the most valuable treasure I have. What is it? Valuable thing. He called her and she said, Rama, 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 Rama. What is this mantra? How I should chant? Then Madanga Maharishi said, just chant this mantra and the Lord himself will come to you. So Shabari, she did that. Lord Rama came and he praised about Shabari, and Shabari, after serving Lord Rama and Lakshmana, she sat on dhyana and she burned her body and went to Vaikuntha. She said, I should go. Rama is asking, where are you going? I should go to my guru and inform him that I have completed your service. Even when Lord is there, for them, Guru Bhakti is highest thing. So they go to their guru and inform, okay, now I have served the Lord. So this is how they think. So this is all possible when you serve your guru properly. When you are in service attitude, then Lord gives us knowledge. The knowledge is transformed from heart to heart. This knowledge is not acquired by means of any hearing or reading. So this knowledge has to be transformed from heart to heart. So this is how Krishna says that when you are a devotee, when you are always connected with me, like we have seen the story of Shabari, then the Lord himself gives this knowledge. By means of this knowledge, you can attain me. Tesham evanukampartam maham ajnanajantamah nashayami atma bhavasto jnanadhipena bhasvata. And Krishna says, by means of this light of knowledge, then I dispel all the ignorance in their heart. Then I become their sadhana, or I become their carrier. Like Krishna already said, that I am the yogakshemam vahamyaham. I carry their yogakshema. Yogakshema means their spiritual benefits. Here yogakshema means not only material benefits. Lord takes care of our spiritual benefit also. Lord is looking after our spiritual benefits. That's what Krishna says here. When you are in darkness, then you are always fearful. But when you come to light, then you can see everything as it is. So this darkness and light always exist together. Like Krishna and Maya always existing together. This darkness and light is existing together all the time. Like you are open, your eyes are open, so it is light. When you close your eyes, then it is darkness. Just you need to open your eyes, then you can see the light. Similarly, we are all now closing our eyes and we are all shouting, okay, I'm like a person in a dream. A person in a dream, he has closed his eyes and he has his own imaginary world, and he is fearful, sometimes he is laughing, sometimes he is happy. So all these things are very temporary, and it doesn't exist. It is just existing in his mind. So when you open your eyes, then you see, then you come back to your real world, then you understand, okay, this is as it is. Similarly, Krishna says that when you are in ignorance, you don't understand what is real happiness, what is dukkha. You're all just imaginary. You're all staying in an imaginary world. But when you understand my mercy, then you can open your eyes, then you can see as it is. So that's what Krishna says, that I give them knowledge. By means of that knowledge, they can understand what is Atma, what is Paramatma, and how to serve him. So these devotees, they cannot live. That is the whole point. The devotees, they get knowledge from the Lord and they cannot live without Lord. So in order to know about Lord, then they have to understand what are these glories. So Krishna is going to speak about those glories. Krishna just now has said, this is called Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. This is a very important shloka in Bhagavad Gita. There's 4 shlokas. So Krishna explained about the whole devotional process in this 4 shloka. When Arjuna heard about these 4 shlokas from Krishna, Arjuna could not control his devotion. So his devotion comes out as a prayer. So this is a very beautiful prayer by Arjuna, and this same kind of prayers we can see in the 11th chapter also. Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Aditevam Majam Vivum Aha Ahustvam Rishayas Sarve Devarashir Naradastata Asita Devalo Vyasa Swayam Chaiva Bravimite Sarvametat Ritam Manye Yanmam Badasi Kesava Nahitte Bhagavan Vyaktam Vidurte Vanadanava Swayam Yeva Atmanatmanam Vetitvam Purushottama Bhuta Bhavena Bhutesha Deva Deva Jagatpate Bhaktum Marhasi Asheshena Divya Hi Atma Vibhutayaha Yabhir Vibhutitair Lokan Imam Swam Vyapya Tishtasi Katam Vidyamaham Yogim Tavam Sada Parichintayan Keshu Keshu Bhaveshu Chintayosmi Bhagavan Maya. Then Vistarena Atmano Yogam Vibhutim Cha Janardana Bhuya Kataya Truptirhi Shrunvato Nasti Me Amritam. He stops with Amritam. He says very beautiful shlokas here, beautiful prayers. He says, Param Brahma, Param Dhamma. Hey Param Brahma, you are the origin of Brahman. What is Brahman? What is Paramatma? What is Bhagavan? We have already discussed. Otherwise, we will discuss in the later chapter also. He says, Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham, Shashvatam, Divyam, Adidevam, Majam, Vibhum. Simply, it speaks about Adidevam. You are the origin of everything. You are the supreme person of Godhead. You are very pure. How do you know that I am pure? I am the supreme person. Because you just told me. So Arjuna says, not just because I love you, I'm telling you are supreme person. Not just because you are proclaiming yourself that you are supreme person, I just accept you. No, I accept you as a supreme person, not because of my mental speculation, not because of your words. I have heard this many times from many rishis. Because rishis are glorifying you, because rishis have no any personal motivation to glorify anyone. Rishis, they don't glorify anyone unnecessarily unless they see the qualities in you. So similarly, here they say, Rishi, I believe in Rishi's words. So because I have heard this many times from Rishis, from Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa, that you as a supreme person, then I accept. So Lord usually never likes to proclaim his glories. Like Krishna himself, he said, Avajananti Mamuda Naham Prakasa Sarvasya Yogamaya Samavrtaha Mudoyam Nabijanati Lokoma Machamabhiyam. Krishna doesn't go and explain himself to anyone. Why do I explain? If you don't understand about Krishna, what is the use of explaining himself to you? So Krishna doesn't do that. Krishna did this in Duta Parva, in Mahabharata, when Krishna went to speak for Pandavas in Kaurava Sabha. Then what happened? Many rishis like Parashurama, Markandeya, Bhishma, Vyasa, many rishis, they said, Hey Krishna to Bhagavan Swayam, Krishna is Supreme Lord, please try to worship Krishna, please try to understand Krishna. They were glorifying Krishna. Krishna was furious. Krishna, he stood up and he shouted on everyone. Why are you all speaking about my glories here? I'm not here to establish my glories. It is not that because you are establishing my glories, I become Supreme Lord. If you don't praise me, it is not that I will not become a Supreme Lord. I am already Supreme Lord. So you don't have to glorify me. Just do whatever I'm saying. Here I came for only one purpose, that to establish the Pandavas to give back whatever is their own thing they should get back. So I'm here for this reason, not establish myself. So Krishna doesn't like to establish his glories, but here you can see personally Krishna is establishing his own glories. That's why Arjuna is very happy, because Krishna, even in that sabha, he does not want to establish his glories, but here Krishna is, in his own words, is glorifying. Yes, I am that supreme person. If you know me, then you can understand me. You can understand me very happy, and you can understand me completely. Then he says that I understand whatever you say, it is true. I understand you completely. I accept whatever you say as true. Sarvameta Rritatmanye. Rrita means truth. So whatever you say, that is true. Sarvameta Rritatmanye. Yenmam Bhatase Kesava. Nahitvam Bhagavan Vyaktim Vidur Neva Danavaha. No one can understand you completely. Not Devadas, not even Dhanavas. No one can understand you completely. But you are the creator of all the creator, the performers of all kinds of fasting, master of everything in this universe, and only you know about yourself completely. No one knows about you completely. Only you can explain about yourself completely. So that's why he says that Bhaktum Arhasi Aseshena. If you think I'm qualified enough, then please tell me your glories more, your energies. I want to hear more. That how you are maintaining this universe, how you are controlling this universe. I want to hear these things. It is not that I am doubting you, but I want to hear from you all the glories so that I can meditate on those objects. So you have said that I should meditate. Man mana bhav bhakto. You said always think about me. How I should think you? Because in this world I am seeing many things here. So when I see these things, how I should meditate on you? So that is the whole point. Which object should I think of you while meditating? Oh Lord, that is what Krishna says. Vistarena atmano yogam vibhutis janardana bhuya katam tripterhi shrinvato nasti me amritam. He says, please explain me in detail about all those glories. Krishna has already have explained to you. How many times I should explain you about my energies? Yes, it's amritam. It is nectar. I don't feel satisfied. How many times you explain? I like to hear more and more. That is the quality of devotion service. That is the quality of spiritual. Spiritual means you want to hear more and more. When the more you hear, the more taster it becomes. So Arjuna just said this and he stopped. Then Krishna starts his glories, to describe his glories. Then Krishna says, Hanta. Hanta means alas. Hanta means it's like exclamatory mark. Hanta. Hantate katayishyami divyahi atma vibhutayaha pradayan pradhanyanta kurushreshta nastyo anta vistarasya me. Hey Kurushreshta, hey Arjuna, you have simply asked, you have asked very simply to describe all the glories or all the energies of me, but it is impossible to explain everything of my glories, everything of my energies. Anta, that's why he said, Anta, it is impossible to explain. But I will just tell you some pradhanya, some important points, some important vibhutis of mine I will explain to you. So please listen those vibhutis. Then Krishna starts speaking. Aham atma gudakesha sarva bhuta sayastitaha aham adischa madhyam cha bhutanam anta evacha. He says, I am atma gudesha. And Krishna comes down as three kinds of Paramatma. Krishna, he expands himself as Karnodasai Vishnu, Kshirodasai Vishnu, and Garbhodasai Vishnu. So, Krishna, in one word to say, this whole world is beautiful. Whole world is beautiful. Why? Because Krishna is the Paramatma, is the Paramatma for the whole world. If Lord is not there as Paramatma, this world won't look beautiful. So Krishna just said in one word, everything is beautiful because of me. Whenever you see some beautiful things, whenever you see some great things, whenever you see some glorious thing, then just understand my energy is working. So without my energy, nothing becomes glorious, nothing becomes beautiful, nothing becomes great. So that's what Krishna starts with. So Krishna expands himself in three forms. That is, one is Karanodaka. Karanodaka means he is a Paramatma of Pradhana. Then we have Garbhodaka. Garbhodaka means he is the Paramatma for this whole universe. He is the Paramatma for Brahma, Lord Brahma. Then he becomes Paramatma for each and every living entity. That is called Kshira Udaka Sai Vishnu. So he expands inside into this three kinds of form. That's what Krishna says in this shloka, in 20th shloka. Adityanam maham Vishnur Jyotisham Ravir Amshuman Marichir Marutam Asmi Nakshatranam maham Sashihi Vedanam Samavedosmi Devanam Asmi Vasavaha Indriyanam Manaschasmi Bhutanam Chasmi Chetanaha. And he says, among Adityas, I am the Vishnu. There are 12 Adityas. Vamana, Aryaman, Indra, Tvashta, Varuna, Datta, Bhaya, Parjanya, Vivaswan, Amshuman, Mitra, Pushya. So they are all called 12 Adityas. Just a second. So in Dvada Adityas, Vishnu, that is Vamana. Vamana is Vishnu's expansion. So Lord says, among the Adityas, I am the Vishnu, and among the thing which gives light, I am the sun. Among the Maruts, or wind, that which gives wind, Maruts, then Lord is Marichi. Among stars, he is the moon. Among Vedas, he is Gana Rupa, Samagana. Among Devatas, he is the king of Devatas, that is Indra. Among senses, he is the mind which inspires other senses to act and also to differentiate the things. So difficult to conquer the mind. So he is the mind, and also among the living entities, he is the consciousness. Then Rudranam Shankaraschasmi Vittesho Yaksharakshasam Vasunam Pavakastasmi Meru Shikaranam Aham Gurudasam Mukyam Mam Viddhipartha Brahaspatim Cheninam Aham Skanda Sarasamasmi Sagaraha Maharishinam Bhruguraham Girim Asmi Ekam Aksharam Yajnanam Japa Yajñosmi Stavaranam Himalayaha Ashvanta Sarva Vrikshanam Devarshinam Chanarada Gandharvanam Chitrarata Siddhanam Kapilo Munihi Utrai Savasam Ashvananam Vidhimam Amrutodbhavam Airavatam Gajendranam Naranam Chanaradhipam Ayudhanam Maham Vajram Derunam Asmi Kamadug Parjanyastasmi Kandarpo Sarpanam Asmi Vasukihi Anantaschasmi Naganam Varuno Yadasamaham Pitrunam Aryamaschasmi Yamasamayantadaham. So Krishna just glorifies. We'll just go one by one. There's not much time, so I will not go through shlokas. I will just go through the meaning, what he says. So among Rudras, among 11 Rudras, he is Shankara. There are 11 Rudras: Manyu, Manu, Maninasa, Mahan, Shiva, Rutantvaja, Ugrareta, Bhava, Kala, Vamadeva, Dhritavrita. So these are all 11 Rudras. So among these 11 Rudras is called Shankara. Among Yakshas, who protects the wealth of demigods, he is Kuvera. Among Vasus, there are Ashtavasus. Among Ashtavasus, he is called Agni. So Apa, Dhruva, Soma, Dharma, Anila, Pavaka, Pratyusha, Prabhasa, they are called Ashtavasus. So in this he is Pavaka, Agni. And among Shikara, among the mountains, he is the golden mountain, Meru. Among Purohita, he is Brahaspati. Among the soldier in command, the commander of demigods, soldier, is Kanda. Among the reservoir of water is ocean. Among Maharishis is Bhrigu Rishi. Among the words is Om. Among sacrifice is Japa. Among the immovable objects is Himalaya. Among the tree is Pippala. Among the rishis, Deva rishis, is Narada. Among Gandharva, he is Chittarata. Among Siddhas, he is Kapila. Among horses, these are things which are arising from this Amrutamantana, from nectar. So among horses, he is Uchraisava. Among elephants, he is Airavata. Among men, he is the king, because king is stronger and he is the one who establishes dharma. So among men, he is the king. Among the weapon, he is Vajra. Among the cows, he is Kamadenu. Among the thing which produces child, he is the lust. Among the snake, among the serpents, he is the Vasuki. Among the Nagas, means male snake. Among the Nagas, he is Ananta. Among water leaves, he is Varuna. Among the Pitris, he is the Aryama. Among the Punisher, he is Yama himself. Among the Daityas, he is Prahlada. Among the controller, or who has the ability to do anything, to change anything, he is the Time. Among the animals, he is the lion. Among the birds, he is Garuda. Among the purifier and very fast, he is the wind. Among the holder of the weapons, he is Lord Rama. Among the fishes, he is Makara, that is crocodile. The crocodile is considered as Ganga Devi's Vahana or vehicle. So among the running water, river, he is Ganges. I am the creator, destroyer, and the maintainer of everything. In the 32nd shloka, Krishna speaks about all this thing. What is it? Sargana Madirantascha Madhyam Chaham Arjuna Adhyatma Vidhi Vidhyanam Vada Pravadhatam Maham. So among this creation, I am the primary creation. Among the knowledge, I am the knowledge of the soul. There are 14 kinds of knowledge in this world. 4 Vedas, 4. And there are 6 Vedangas, that is 4 plus 6, 10. And we have Mimamsa, we have Karma Mimamsa, and we have Uttara Mimamsa, that is Karma Mimamsa, and we have Vedanta. So these are 2 kinds of Mimamsa. And we have Nyaya Shastra. And at last we have Puranas. We have Dharma Shastra and Puranas. So this 14 called Nyayas, called Jnanasthana. So these 14 are considered as Jnana. So if you go to Gurukula, in Gurukula, they teach these 14 things. What are things? First of all, 4 Vedas. Nowadays, they don't teach 4 Vedas, they teach at least 1 Veda. So 4 Vedas, and we have 6 Vedangas, and we have Mimamsa, Shastra, and we have Dharma Shastras, we have Nyaya Shastra, and we have Puranas. So this 14 is called knowledge. But among this 14, the main knowledge is the knowledge about the soul. So he says, among the knowledge, I am the knowledge of the soul. I am the debate. Among the Vada is Vada. There is Vada, Jalpa, Vidanta. There are different kinds of Vada or argument. So he is considered as Vada. Among the letter, he is the A, the origin of all the letters. He is the Akar. He is the Akarshanam, Akarosmi, Dvanta Samasi Kasyacha. So among the samasas, he is called Dvanda Samasa. There is Abhi Bhava, there is Bahubrihi Samasa, there is Tatpurusha Samasa, and there is a samasa called Dvanda Samasa. So among the samasas, he is called Dvanda Samasa. Among the destroyers, then he is the fire which destroys the whole universe at the end of this Pralaya Kala. Among the creators, he is Brahma. Among the death, so that death which creates the memory loss, he is that kind of death. So what is death? Death means, it's a simple definition of death means you forget your old body and you take a new body. That is called death. So among that, Mrityu Sarva Chaham, Krishna says, in the form of Mrityu, I take away everything from you. You may be a big scholar, you may be a big billionaire, you may be a very big rich person or a very famous person, but when death comes, you forget everything, you leave everything and you go away with death, and you take a new body. Again, you have to start everything from you. So in the form of death, I take away everything from you. Among the transformation of body is birth. So among Kirti, Shri, Vakcha, Narinam. So among women, he is Kirti, Shri, and Vak. There are 7, at least there are 7 qualities of women mentioned in the Shastra. So these 7 qualities are considered as the ornaments for a woman. What are the 7 qualities? It's called Kirti, Shri, Vak, Smriti, Meda, Dhriti, Kshama. What is Kirti? Kirti means religiosity, having spiritual knowledge or spiritual faith. And what is Shri? Shri means wealth in dharma, artha, kama. And Shri means effulgence, bodily effulgence also. And Vak. Vak means speaking very cultivated, very civilized language. uh, Having this ability to express anything using the civilized language. So that is called Vak. And Smriti. Smriti means remembering things that we have experienced. We always forget our experience. We have good experience, bad experience, but again, when you are in some trouble, you forget your good and bad experience and you do the same thing again. So it's not good. So when you have smriti, then you will understand, okay, I have done this mistake before previously and I have suffered, so I should not do this again. So it is called smriti, remembering things that you have experienced. It is called smriti. And medha. Medha means understanding the intricacies of the shastras, of the scriptures. And we have dhriti. Dhriti means that extinguishing the agitating uh, uh, situations, or when there is agitation, then you be very peaceful. That is called kshama. Kshama means tolerating during the, joy or sorrow, or mana and apamana. So that is called kshama. So these are the main qualities which are mentioned for women. So among these qualities, he is considered as kirti, shri, and va. Smriti, bheva, dhriti, kshama. So these are the qualities which are mentioned here. Here itself it is mentioned. So these are the qualities of women. Among the qualities, he is considered Kshama and Dhriti. So women should develop all those qualities. Thus Krishna is stressing in Bhagavad Gita itself. Brihat Sama Tatas Samanam Gayatri Chandasamyaham Masanam Marga Sirshoham Ritunam Kusumakaraha. He says, among the Vedas, I am the Sama, Brihat Sama. Among the Chandas, I am the Gayatri Chandas. There are many Chandas. So this Gayatri Chandas is very peculiar because of this Gayatri Chandas, many the Jivatmas, they are becoming Dvijas, they are becoming second born. So Gayatri Chandas means it has 3 lines, each line has 8 syllables. That's called Gayatri Chandas. And among month, he is Marga Sirishaman, this which is happening now. It is called, he is the month among the Marga Sirishaman, because in this month we have supply, very large supply of grains. So and among the seasons, he is the spring season, because in the spring season, it's not too cold and it's not too hot. So among the seasons, he's called Vasanta Ritu. Among the cheaters, he's the gamble, because you lose everything. Among the conquerors, among the Tejas person, among the person who conquers everything, he's a victory. Among the endeavor, I am that endeavor. Because in Dhruva Charitra, we have seen that demigods, they come and complain to Lord Krishna that this boy Dhruva is doing so much tapas. We are not able to tolerate his tapas. Then Lord says, why don't you go and just disturb his tapas? You can do this. You've already done this many times. Then they say, no, it's not possible for us. We cannot disturb Dhruva Maharaj's tapas. Then Lord says, yes, you cannot do that. Why? Because I am doing tapas inside him. So Dhruva Maharaj tapas is me actually. I am doing the tapas inside him, because I want to see him. So how to see him? I cannot just go in front of Dhruva and show myself. He has to do something. He is unable to do anything. He is incapable. So I do tapas inside him, and for this tapas I give him result. So that's how Krishna blesses us. He does everything, and ultimately he comes and blesses. So among the strong, I am the strength. I am the Yadavas. Krishna says, I am the Yadavas. Among the Yadavas, I am the Krishna. Among the Pandavas, say Arjuna, it's you. I am the Pandavas. Among the Pandavas, I am yourself. That is Arjuna. Among the sages, I am the Vyasa. That is Munis. Here Muni means one who contemplates on higher spiritual topic. They are called Munis. And among the Kavis, Kavis means one who tries to understand the subtle things which are explained in the Vedas. Among the Kavis, I am the Ushana. Ushana means here Shukracharya. So among the correct among the punishments, I am that punishment. Because when you get punishment, then you won't do that mistake again. Among the desire for victory, I am the proper conduct. Because when you want to get a victory, people they do so many illegal things to get victory. But here he says, among the person who desires for victory, I am the person who has proper conduct, niti. Among the secrets, I am the silence. Among gaining spiritual knowledge, I am the meditation. And I am the knowledge of the person who has knowledge. I am the seed of all the living entities to manifest. So I am the seed for moving and non-moving, everything that exists without, there is nothing which exists without me. So Krishna just concludes with the shloka in 40. So Krishna has just now described. Then he says, Nantosti ma divyana vibhutinam parantapa esha tudeshanta prokta vibhuter vistaromaya yadyad vibhuti matsatvam srimad urjitam eva tattat eva gacchami tvam mama tejom sasambhavam. Then he says, what is the use of explaining? Or how is it possible to explain everything, Arjuna? Because there is no end for my vibhutis. I have still, because you have asked me, I have only spoken few of my vibhuti. There is no time, Arjuna, please get up. It's enough. If I can speak my vibhuti, Bhagavad Gita will be like 32 chapters. How many chapters I am going to speak? It's enough, Arjuna. Now we have to fight. Everybody is waiting for us to fight. Enough of my glories. Get up, Arjuna, and fight. That's what Krishna is. It's enough. Because yadyat vibhuti mat sattvam srimad urjidam eva. Know that all the opulent, beautiful, glorious thing in this creation, whatever you see, which are very glorious, whatever is present here, whatever present in the, whatever was there in the past, and whatever will be in the future, that whenever you see something which shows the majesty or beauty or strength or some glory, it is all because of me. And they are all arising from my fragment, Arjuna. They are nothing. Then he says, Atava Bahunaitena kim yatena tava Arjuna vistabhyam idam krishnam ekamsena siddho jagate. Arjuna, what is the use of understanding my detailed knowledge? I will just tell you in one word, what is this detailed knowledge? This detailed knowledge is just like a one small mole in my whole body. We have a full body, and in this body there's a small mole, a black color mole. So that's the that is the whole creation, whole material creation. If whole material creation is just like a one mole, then understand the whole body, how big the whole body is. So it is impossible for you to understand. It is impossible for even me, myself, to understand my glories completely. So it is impossible for me to understand, and it is impossible for me to explain to you everything. So whatever you have asked, I have explained to you something. What is the use? Why Krishna is explaining all this thing? Because in this world, if you want to meditate on Lord, as soon as you close your eyes, immediately our mind goes here and there. So Krishna is explaining all this thing just to give us dhyana. Because when you say Krishna is this, when we understand Krishna is here, Krishna is this, Krishna is there, then whenever our mind goes, then our mind will go to Krishna. That's why Krishna is establishing himself in all these things, just to bring our mind under the control. So this thing is already very much mingled in our blood itself. In India, we worship everything. When Madhvacharya wanted to go to take sannyasa, in the midst of his night, in the midnight, he wakes up and he touches his father and mother feet, and he goes to each and every pillar. He pays obeisances. He pays obeisance to his house. He worships everything, and he goes to take sannyasa. Means he takes permission from everything, because he sees Lord's presence in everything. So that's why we can see in this world we worship everything. Even when we go to temple, we don't step on the main prakara, this step. We cross over that step. We think that is also Lord. Even for one step, even for every step, we put some we put some kunkuma, we put some turmeric powder and we worship. We don't give up everything. We don't leave up everything because that's how we are trained. Vasudeva Saramiti. We are trained to see Lord in every place, in every circumstances. But this cannot be understood by people in Western country. They think the Lord is somewhere only in the church. That's why in Western country you don't find people in any church. Churches are very empty. That's why they are coming and preaching here. Here everything is getting full. Here whole Sanatana people, they are going to church and they are making churches into temple. Because this is how in our country, in our blood, from our birth itself, we are trained like that to think that everything is Lord's quality. And whenever you see some greatness in somebody, don't think about that person as great. And don't go behind him. Don't go and beg from him. Oh, he's such a great person. He has such a great quality. No, these are not his qualities. These are all Lord qualities. Lord has given him something. If you see any beautiful thing, if you see any beautiful person, very very influential person, very rich person, very strong, very intelligent person, don't think that is his glories. These are all ekam sena sitojaga. These are all Lord's simple quality, Lord's reflection that we can see from this person. So don't praise anybody and don't neglect also, thinking, okay, anyway, he's useless. No, we will not go behind that person and we'll understand, we'll glorify Lord. When you see something beautiful, when you see something very influential, immediately we'll think about Lord. This is how we are trained like that. So this is how Lord has completed his explanation. So understanding, knowledge with devotion, it's actually spiritual life. Without knowledge, if you just do devotion, then it becomes sentimental. Then just knowledge will not work without devotion. Then it becomes mental speculation. It becomes like a fanatism. So we don't want fanatism. We don't want sentimentalism. We want spiritualism. How it is possible? Knowledge with devotion service. That is called spiritualism. So Krishna has just mentioned about this. So it is impossible to mention everything about Lord's glory. There was a Vedanta Deshika. There was a great Acharya in Sri Vaishnava Parampara called Vedanta Deshika. So what he did, he wanted to describe about Lord. So he sat down, he wanted to write about Lord. So where to start? He started to describe about Lord's lotus feet. So before starting to describe about his lotus feet, there is his paduka, his chapel, wooden chapels are there. So he wanted to glorify about this wooden chapel. So he started glorifying. One song, second song, third song, fourth song, 10, 100, 500, 1,000 songs. 1,000 songs just to glorify Lord's wooden chapel, his paduka. And it was not enough. He wanted to do more. And he said, okay, it's enough. I cannot describe anymore. Because just for the paduka itself, 1,000 means. Then if you come to lotus feet, then his nails, then his knees, then his hips, then his navel, then his chest, then his beautiful smiling face, then his eyes, then his head. So it is impossible for anyone to describe. Ananta Shesha with thousands of mouth, from time immemorial, he is glorifying about Lord's glory, but still he cannot find an end. So that is how the Lord's glory is. It is impossible for us to find an end. So what we can do, we can just try to understand according to our ability. Like a person goes to Ganga to take bath, he doesn't go from this shore to that shore, or he doesn't swim through full Ganga. He just goes, takes bath according to his ability. Similarly, Lord's glories are unlimited. We can only understand how much capability we have, or how much Lord reveals himself to us. That much only we can understand him. So Lord, he has revealed something about his glories here. So along with Arjuna, we can also appreciate Lord's energy in various form. So whenever you see some glorious thing, always appreciate Lord. Whenever you see some beautiful things, always appreciate the Lord's beauty, Lord's architectural intelligence in that beautiful things. Don't think immediately it is for my enjoyment. All these days, what we are doing, whenever you see something beautiful, immediately you will think, immediately your eyes will scan how I will enjoy this. But whenever now you see some beautiful things, immediately we should think how I should offer this to Krishna. That's the difference. You find a beautiful flower. If you are a karmi, then he takes this flower and he puts in his wife's head. But if a devotee sees this beautiful flower, he takes this flower and offers it to the Lord. Similarly, this Atma is just like this. This Atma, we don't know with what kind of Sangha we have. If we have Dushta Sangha, then we'll end up in some Dushta's hand. But if we have Sadhu Sangha, then the sadhus, they take this Atma, they offer it to the Lord. So we should always stay in Sadhu Sangha. Only in Sadhu Sangha we can see Lord, we can appreciate Lord in all these qualities. So I will end up here, this 11th chapter, so 10th chapter, and tomorrow we'll see Vishwarupa. So we will not see Vishwarupa, we'll hear Vishwarupa. Because I'm not going to show Vishwarupa, but we will hear Vishwarupa tomorrow. So if anybody have any questions or comments, you can ask now. I have few comments. Yesterday, some devotees have told me that the course is little fast and there are many points. Yes, that is true. It is little fast because we have only 1.5 hours. And in this 1.5 hours, we need to cover full chapter. And there are many points. Yes, because Bhagavad Gita, there are many more points which I want to discuss, but I don't have time. But in upcoming days, as I said, in future, we'll start Bhagavad Gita every day, one shloka. So when we go through one shloka per day, then we can understand Bhagavad Gita, each shloka from various acharyas' point of view. Then there is much more understanding for each shloka. That will be very interesting. That we will do in the future. We'll go for more points in the future. Yes, that's a question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
all the good qualities, Krishna says that I am there. What about the bad qualities? There are so many, the bad things are there, and from where those things comes?
Yes, good question. So Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavaha matta sarvam pravartati. Everything coming from Lord only. There is nothing like a bad thing. From Krishna, everything is good. But when it touches us, then it becomes bad. Because from Krishna only comes lie, from Krishna only comes cheating, from Krishna only comes all kinds of activity. He is the origin of everything. But how we use it, how we utilize it, how we see that, how we handle it, then it becomes bad. Like Prabhupada says, there is nothing like Maya. There is nothing like in other religion, we have this concept. We have God and we have Satan. There is always fight between God and Satan. But in our Sanatana Dharma, there is nothing like that. There is nothing like there is a fight between competition between Lord and Maya. No, Maya is also energy of Lord. Maya is just doing a thankless task. She doesn't have to do that. She doesn't want to do that, but she is just doing it. Mother becomes very angry. Where this anger is coming from? So everything is ultimately originating from Lord, but it is pure in spiritual realm. In spiritual realm, in spiritual world, anger is good. In spiritual world, madness is good. In spiritual world, lust is good. In spiritual world, everything is good. But when it comes to material world, then everything becomes bad. Whatever you think it is good here, it's actually bad only. You can think anything auspicious in this world, but without Krishna's connection, everything is inauspicious. Apparently, it may looks like auspicious thing, like doing punya karma or speaking the truth. Speaking the truth is good thing, but without Krishna, then it is not. It is not truth itself. That's what happened with Yudhishthira. When Krishna told him speak the lie, he doesn't. He was hesitating. He was thinking that speaking the truth is the highest goal. No, accepting Krishna's word and doing as Krishna's wish, that is the highest thing. So without Krishna's connection, there is nothing good in this world. If there is Krishna's connection, everything becomes good. Even lust becomes good. Even envious becomes good if you have Krishna's connection. So everything is originating from Krishna and everything is meant for Krishna's satisfaction, for Krishna's service only. Okay, that answers your question, I guess. If anybody has any other questions, you can ask. Any other comments? Okay, there is one more comment from Vinitra. Hare Krishna, Dandavat pranam. Thank you for. Okay. So, if there is no question, then we'll continue tomorrow with Vishwarupa. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.